guys! For today's video, I'm going to be doing a look that I am calling Toasted Mauves because I don't know how else to describe this look or to title it. But to get started, we're going to be first priming the lids. I'm using this NYX high definition eyeshadow base that I recently picked up from the drugstore. I had no idea that NYX even had a primer, but I really like this one. So next we're going to go in with a base. This is from Origins. It's actually a cream eyeshadow in a purpley shade. I'm laying it down because what I find that these do is they really help the darker shadows to look more vibrant and darker. So I just put it in the outer half of my lid area. Now going into the Smashbox Double Exposure Palette, I'll be picking up the shade Flushed, which is a light pink with some shimmer in it. I'm using a flat shader brush to just quickly apply this to the inner half of the lid area. Going back into that same palette, I'm now picking up the shade Fig. This one is a completely mattified purple, like a mauve color actually. I'm just focusing this on the outer half of the eye, making sure to really smoke this out. I'm probably only going in about halfway through the crease. I will say between this palette and the original Full Exposure, I like this one so much more. The shadows are much creamier and have better color payoff. Alright, now I'm going in with this black shade from the palette. It's called Noir, right in the outer corner, like you can see here that I'm doing with this smaller blending brush, just focusing it from the lash line and then working it back into the crease. Using the same blending brush we used before, picking up that color Fig, and really working it over top of this black eyeshadow. Because you don't want it to be like black and then pink, you know, there has to be some sort of separation between the two shadows, the first one we used and then this black shade. So just make sure to really blend this out, smoke it out, make sure that there's no, you know, harsh lines or anything like that. I'm only keeping the eyeshadows about halfway up my entire lid space because the smaller your eyes are, I feel like the better it looks when your eyeshadows don't go too high up. And this way when you look up, you know, you pretty much just see your eyeliner, at least for me because I have hooded lids, but when you look down you see all these like gorgeous eyeshadows and it's like, whoa, I can't believe we just did that. Go in with a little bit of glitter to make the lid pop even more. Now this is something new I decided to try out. It is called Jelly Pong Pong. It's a luminizer gel. I'm pretty sure it's meant for your face, but I decided to put it on my eyes and it really helped that first eyeshadow we used to pop more on the lid. And then for that added touch, you guys know every single time I do like an eye makeup tutorial, I always like to do something that's just a little different that I've never done before. I kind of like challenge myself to make the look more unique. So to do that, I decided to use gold in the very center of the lid. I'm just patting this on very carefully and then blending it out with my fingertip. This is called Gotta Glow from e.l.f. It's a smudge pot. And then I'm going back through with a smaller blending brush with that same shadow that we've been using a lot in this look called Fig, the matte purple, and applying this into the crease just to blend everything together so there's no harsh lines. Stila waterproof liquid liner in black. I start like a few centimeters away from the inner corner of my eye because when I go to apply eyeliner there, it just completely closes my entire eye off and it just looks way too much. So I start like a few centimeters away and then I start working it outward and I make like a point going towards the end of my brow. Going in with lashes now. This is Ritzy. These are nice because they're smaller, so you know they don't take away from all the eyeshadow. And I just applied a little bit of primer from Smashbox. And now I am going in for the first time with my Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. This is in the shade P50. This is so far the second foundation I have ever used in my life that is a serum foundation, meaning that it has more of like a dewy finish to it. It's very silky smooth, really easy to blend out. I would definitely recommend this though if you have dry skin like me because it's really going to give that moisture back to your skin that it needs. I do think it is important to powder after this, but I love this foundation because it does have such a great full coverage and you really don't need to use a lot of it. All right, now we're gonna be going in with a concealer. This is from IT Cosmetics. It's called CC Plus Eye Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream. This is definitely full coverage. Like if you have dark under eye circles, I am telling you, this is going to cover them amazingly. And then over top of that, like where my, like the highest point of my cheekbone is, I'm applying Maybelline Fit Me concealer in Fair. So I'm covering under eye circles and I am highlighting at the same time. And what I like to do is use this smaller brush, since my, like that inner area where my eyes are is so like small, I can't even barely get it with my fingers. So I use that small blending brush to blend it out, and then I use this bigger IT Cosmetics brush to blend out, you know, the area that's closer to my cheek, and it just helps the foundation to just kind of blend in with the concealer so it all looks, you know, nice and even. I am like so serious when it comes to my face makeup. Like I like it has to be perfect. I am just such a perfectionist with it. I keep experimenting and trying new things, and so far I really liked this technique. So what I'm doing here is applying this powder from IT Cosmetics. It's a CC Plus powder as well, and it is in the shade Tan. I am applying this to the outer parts of my face. I feel like when you use a serum foundation, you definitely need to powder over top of it, even if you have dry skin, otherwise it looks like way too dewy. So I find that this really helps to get rid of the oiliness where I don't want it, but it also kind of contours my face a little bit at the same time in a more natural way. Now I'm going in with Makeup Forever HD High Definition Powder and just setting that concealer. What I love about this one is that it does have a little bit of a luminosity to it, so it kind of makes the whole center of my face, which is where I apply the concealer, have a little bit of a glow, and I really love the way that that looks. This is NARS Laguna. I'm applying this where the like lower part of my cheekbone is, just to shape it out, but mainly keeping it, like focusing it near the hairline. A little bit on the temples, the outer portion of the forehead, on the tip of the chin, and then like the smallest amount ever on my nose. Because I notice from reading the comments from you guys that when I put like too much bronzer on my nose, you guys are like, whoa, Kayleigh, what are you doing? This right here is one of my favorite blushes now. I just picked it up. It is from Milani Cosmetics. I can't remember the name, but it'll be down in the description box. It gives such a really nice like pink look. It is so pretty, and it's freaking shaped like a flower, so it's like the best blush of all time. Then I'm gonna highlight my face with this, it's a highlighting powder from Becca in the shade Opal. I'm applying this with a flat brush, flat foundation brush, to the high points of my cheekbones, going from the apples of the cheeks all the way up to the hairline, and then a little bit on the bridge of my nose and on the cupid's bow of my lip as well. So going back to the eyes, I need to finish up the lower lash line. So what I decided to do is really smoke this out. I'm using this first. It's from CoverGirl. Now this is completely scratched off, but it's just a plum shade eyeliner. And then over top of that, I'm going in with this color from the Double Exposure Smashbox palette. And this one, I think it's, let's see, I think it's called Copper. It's so pretty though, because it's like, honestly, if I was to pick one shade from this entire palette, I would pick this one as my favorite. It's like a brown with gold sparkles in it. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. I think this one swatches the best as well. So I decided to put that on the lower lash line, like through the waterline, and then bring it down a bit. And I also used the same highlighter that I used for the face in the very inner corners of the eye for an extra little pop. This is the usual that I always use for my lower lash line. It is Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I like using this one because the wand is small, so I can actually get in there to every single lash. I go back to this one every single time, and I'm always like hesitant to try any other mascaras on my lower lash line because this one's just so dang good. Just to finish off the look, I mean, of course you guys can do like nude lip, pink lip, I probably wouldn't do purple, but I decided to go for like a brick red type of lip color. This is the Ulta Contour Lip Liner in Cocoa. sort of has a brown undertone to it, and then I went over top of it with this lipstick, which I am in love with, and it is from Revlon. It is called Primrose. It's, how can I describe it? I guess it sort of has the same like brown undertones as the lip liner does. It basically just gives that really cool metallic look to the lips. It's such a great lipstick. It's just like so moisturizing. It's the best. But anyways, that's it now for the completed look. Let me know if there's any videos in particular that you want to see next. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.